Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Shrishtam Manamapi Shachiputram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagajam Urupuring Maturing Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tamnatosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's been quite some time since I spoke on Vishnu-sahasranama. Actually, we should always meditate upon the beautiful names of Krishna at every moment. Name 695 is Manojava, which to me sounds like a very beautiful name. It's my subjective, to me it sounds very beautiful and poetic. Manoj is a common name, but the full name we have here, Manojava. It means he who is as swift as thought. He's fast. A very fast person. He can do things very quickly, can go very quickly. His speed is like the speed of the mind, or quicker, if we can imagine. There is a verse from the Brahma Samhita that Srila Prabhupada often quoted about the speed of the mind. Who can say what that is? Comes near the beginning of the Govindam prayers. Pantastu koti shata vatsara sampragangyo vayoratapi Manaso muni pungavanam sopyastya yat prabhadasimya vinchintya tat vego vindavadi purusham tamaham bhajam. So this is referring to the Muni Pungava, which means the best among the munis. Muni means one who can, well, one of the definitions, one who can agitate his mind to try to understand some philosophy, some speculator. There we have Nasavrishe Yasya Matang Nabhinam. The rishis, they're similar to munis. They all have different opinions. So one who can agitate his mind to try to understand some philosophy is known as a quick. Quicker than the mind. Get it back. Quicker than thought. Get the paper back. Sigram. It's a Tamil word, Sanskrit word, Shigram. So they're endeavoring with their mind to approach Krishna, but even if they can move at the speed of thought for Shata Koti Vatsara, for a practically unlimited number of years, they won't be able to approach him by the that's the point, that by the mental process it's not possible. Simply by the mind it is not possible to attain him, because he Govinda, is avichintya tattva. Beyond the He is the principle who is beyond the agitations and peregrinations of the mind. Peregrination, you know what it means? It means wandering here and there. Manka, Brahman ki vilas, you could say, something like that. So he cannot be approached by the mind, but he can, with his own transcendental mind, he moves so fast. He can do things quickly. If he wants to do something quickly, he can do it immediately. Anything he wants, he can do immediately. Now, there are many names here in Vishnu-sahasranama which speak about his helping his devotees, his Bhaktavatsalyam in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. That point is especially stressed, how he's very affectionate to his devotees. We know the word for calf in Sanskritam. In Hindi you'll say bachara, but vatsa. So vatsalyam, just like the affection the mother cow has for the calf. So this feeling Krishna has for his devotees, just like the cow doesn't go through any mental speculative process to think, should I look after my calf? He doesn't sit down and, by chewing the grass, doesn't think some philosophy about whether or why am I protecting my calves? Maybe I should become a feminist and leave the calves to someone else and go off and enjoy myself. Go to a disco, something like this, wear a miniskirt. The cow doesn't think like this. It's just absolutely natural for the cow to love her calf. There's no reason. The psychologists may try to find out some reason why the mother likes the child, or they may say, well, it's something to do with the DNA or the electric current in the brain, according to neuropsychology and the neurons in the brain, we can analyze why the mother loves the child, but the mother doesn't give a damn about all of that. The baby cries and she wants to look after the mother. So we can attempt to understand Krishna by our mental processes, but undoubtedly we'll fall short, just like the psychologist may try to explain how even an ordinary mother in this world loves her child, but he can't even explain that. What to speak of Krishna's love for his devotees. So it's his mind is beyond our mind. Practically everything is beyond our mind. We can accept very, very simple things we can understand, just like 2 + 2 = 4, we can understand. But then if we go a little deeper into philosophy, we say, well, what is a number anyway? What is a number? There's no such thing as a number. It's a concept. Or according to some philosophers, what is a number? A number is something written on a piece of paper. That's also true. You don't have to be a big philosopher, but I guess you do have to be a big philosopher to say things like that, because only a big philosopher would say that. No one else would bother. Na savrishya yasya matam na bhinnam. So practically everything's beyond our mind. If you really want to get philosophically stupid, then we can't really understand anything. What to speak of understanding everything? Then we come to Cartesian philosophy. What can I understand? I exist. I exist. Okay, great. We understand. Philosophy begins. I am conscious, therefore I exist. Great. We made a beginning. But that's a long way to understanding who is the Why do we exist? What is the meaning of existence? What is the point of existence? It's a long, long way. And philosophy, or anyone for that matter, can't actually define love. What is a number? What is the mind? What is speed? If you get into the nitty-gritty of defining all these things, you find you can't do. It's beyond the mind. For practical purposes, we use all these concepts, but we can't understand them, or we can't fully understand them. And that doesn't mean that there's nothing there, as the Buddhists would say, shunyavad. There's nothing actually there. There is, but it's beyond our ability to understand. That's the point. So Krishna is very fast in helping his devotees. Who is his devotee? A devotee is one who loves him. He says that even if a devotee is very notorious, apichet sudaracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak, even if he's notorious but in his behavior, but he's made the resolution to worship me only. Sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasitu hisaha. He must be considered a saintly person. We say, well, he's not saintly because he's doing so many things wrong, but then Krishna said, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shasvat chantim nigachati kaunte apratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. He'll quickly become purified. That's Krishna. That's Krishna purifying him. Krishna wants to see that his devotee is glorified. The devotee wants to come to Krishna, and Krishna wants the devotee to come to him. There's a saying which is often quoted of Srila Prabhupada. It's widely quoted. I don't know if there's any solid evidence of him having said it, but it's widely said that Srila Prabhupada often said that if you take one step toward Krishna, he'll take 10 steps toward you. Krishna is very eager that we can go to him. He quickly takes note. Quickly takes note. If we chant his name, if we sing his glories, if we try to serve him, he immediately takes note. Now it might seem that it takes a long time to get his mercy. It might seem like that. Say, well, I've been chanting Hare Krishna for such a long time. I recently watched a recording of an interview that was made in 1970 or 1971 with members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in New York. It was a TV program. And the devotees there, one of the points that struck me, one of the devotees said that, you see, Krishna consciousness must work because some of these devotees have been chanting Hare Krishna for such a long time, for 4 years. Because in 1971, among the Western devotees, the longest that anyone had been associated with Krishna consciousness was 5 years. So some of them have been chanting for 4 years. Very long time. When I joined in 1975, if someone had been a devotee for 4 years, we were considered a very senior devotee. Not nowadays. Time is relative. So you may think it takes a long time to get Krishna's mercy. But it's actually not a long time. Krishna immediately, as soon as we become serious to serve Krishna, Krishna immediately accepts us. But there's some purification. There is some testing period to see if we're really serious. But Krishna immediately accepts us. And even if we struggle, fall away, Krishna has taken note of us. We're one of His. So we shouldn't become despondent. We should have faith that Krishna is looking after us. We've made our move toward Krishna. Of course, it's not just one. We have to keep on moving toward Krishna. If we once move toward Krishna, Krishna will definitely take note of us. But if we become slack in our practices, still we're on the path to Krishna. Krishna won't forget us, but we also have to make our endeavors toward Krishna. It's not that just, well, I take initiation and then, okay, take it easy. Krishna's now looking after me. Krishna looks after us by giving us instructions which we have to follow. Just like a patient goes to the very best doctor. And the doctor gives the very best medicine. So if he thinks that, well, I've got the best medicine and the best doctor, so surely I'll get healthy. But he still has to follow the doctor's instructions. He has to take the medicine and follow the other instructions, dietary instructions, and what to do, what no, don't eat this food, don't eat that food. So something like that. Krishna will surely look after his devotees, but he does so by giving instructions. Someone may say, well, oh, you're supposed to be the best doctor and you had this patient but he still died, so it seems you're not such a good doctor. What can the doctor do if the patient doesn't follow his instructions? Now Krishna can still deliver us if we don't follow his instructions, but he also gives us free will. So if we're not really desirous to attain him, then yayata mang prapadyante tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham. Krishna, you'll see, this devotee is very interested to come to me. Krishna becomes very interested to deliver him. This devotee, well, he's not so. And then Krishna, then, all right, as you like. But still he'll pull us. But if we're determined not to go to him, then Krishna won't force us. Here's a quote from the Vishnu-dharma, a Vaishnava Shastra. Sapta janma kritang papam swalpam va yadi va bahu Vishnur alaya vinyasa prarambha devanashyati. The sins committed in 7 births, whether they're many or a few, are all destroyed the moment a man begins to place his foot in the temple of Vishnu. Just see how merciful Krishna is. One of the commentators here gives the example of Gajendra. Gajendra was desperate. He was in Maya, thinking, I am this elephant body. So he's definitely in Maya. He was calling out for help to get free from the crocodile who was attacking him. He wasn't calling out to Bhagavan, deliver me from birth and death. He wasn't calling out, give me prema bhakti or lotus feet. It's help! I've got a crocodile on my foot. You can't get free. If the crocodile catches your foot, what are you going to do? There's no... But actually he was a devotee. He was temporarily in that situation of considering himself to be an elephant. Maybe you know the story, if you've read the Bhagavatam, how King Indradyumna was meditating, and he was deep in meditation on the Lord when Agastya Rishi came. And seeing that Indradyumna didn't receive him, he cursed him that you're so dull you couldn't receive me. Then you become dull like an elephant. But this gave rise to the pastime of the Lord being so merciful that we know from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says about the King Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Raja Shayastata Anityama Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajasvamam. Krishna says, I'll deliver anyone who takes shelter. And what to speak of the high-class people in this miserable world who worship me. So prior to that, Mamhi Partavya Parshritya Yepi Syu Papayoneha Striyo Vaishastata Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. One who takes full shelter in me, Krishna says, even if they're of sinful birth, if they may be women or Vaishyas or Shudras, they can attain that supreme destination. He doesn't mention animals there, but here's a devotee in the body of an animal, and he's calling out, and very quickly, didn't even wait. Garuda goes very fast, but he didn't wait for Garuda. He just, my devotee's calling out to me. He didn't see that, well, he's in the body of an animal, he's calling out for delivery. And there's so many, nowadays not so many, because there are not so many elephants in the jungles. But previously there were so many. Previously in this area there'd be so many elephants all over India. So many tigers, lions. Now not. There's still cheetah, but that's leopard, not tiger. So there's a bit of a difference. Bag is it, and Vyagra is tiger. There are leopards around, cheetah, but the tigers not anymore. There used to be so many. And then crocodiles also. Narmada is famous. We're in the area of Narmada. Actually, Narmada Devi, her vahana is a crocodile. She sits on a crocodile. Careful when you go to worship her. The croc might be hungry. So it must have been a common thing that a crocodile catches an elephant or whatever. And why should Bhagavan? It just goes on by the laws of nature, you could say, if you want to use modern scientific language. Of course, maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharaja. Laws of nature means it's going on under Krishna's direction. But that's his external energy. And in external energy, some snake is catching a frog, some frog is catching a fly. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One living being is catching another. Why should Krishna? The elephant, if he's caught by a crocodile, he'll call out in distress. Why should Krishna worry? Because because the devotee. So he came very quickly. He just took one lotus flower from the growing in the lake there and offered it up. And Krishna says, Patrang pushpang palang toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti paritam ashnami prayatatmana. It wasn't a regular arati, but it was, he was offering one flower. Look. So Krishna came very quickly. He's just quicker than, he had to be quicker than the mind, otherwise Gajendra would have been finished. There wasn't time to get a ticket, get on the train. There wasn't any time for that. He had to immediately come. So he came immediately to save Gajendra, the king of the elephants. The Namalva of the praised in the Sri Sampradaya. He gives the example that quicker than that, quicker than you can snap your fingers, he'll come for his devotees. We are so many sins we have accumulated since time immemorial, but just finished. He wants to finish? Finished. That's all. We want to surrender to Him. Savadhaman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayeshyami masya. Finished. What do you have to do to get rid of all those sins? How many penances and fasting and sitting in the cold water in the winter and so many things you have to do. Even then they won't get rid of the sins. But Krishna finished immediately. Just finished. Shankaracharya gives the observation that, well, he quotes from the Ishopanishad, Anejad eka manaso javiyo, same, the swiftness. Naina deva apnuvan purvamarshat tadhavato jnanatyeti tishtat tasmin apo matarishvadadati. Although he is fixed in his abode, Golokameva nivasatya kilatma bhutaha. He's in his abode, but he's everywhere also. He's swifter than the mind. That word is there, swifter than the mind. And he can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him, although in one place he controls those who supply the air and the rain. He surpasses all in excellence. So the point that Shankara takes out of this is that it takes a bit of the fun out of it, because he says anyway he's everywhere, so he can just be right here. The idea he comes from Vaikuntha, that's also true, but he can just manifest himself anywhere because he is everywhere. That takes a bit of the fun out of it, doesn't it? If you think he has to run all the way from Vaikuntha, but anyway he's in the heart of Gajendra, so he just comes out. Yeah, okay. All right. That Shankaracharya says this. So one of the commentators, Radha Krishna Shastri, says that what can obstruct one's speed? What can obstruct one's speed? And he gives time can obstruct one's speed, which is a bit difficult to understand because speed is measured by time. But the fact is that we can only move at a certain speed. So time, just like sometimes there's an English saying, racing against the clock. What's an example? Oh, there's a bomb. It's a bomb about to go. It has what do they call that? The fuse. And so there's the bomb squad. The army people who, they know how to defuse bombs, but they have to do it quickly. It's a dangerous job. Because if you don't do it in time, you get blown to pieces. So it's a very dangerous job. You're racing against the clock. Time is not on your side. Time is against you. So time is an impediment. Physical objects, they may be obstacles. Just like if you want to go from here to that hutment out there. So that screen there is an impediment. There are things which you want to go quickly, but that's an impediment. They devise some sports. What's that called? Pentathlon, decathlon, different sports. There's another, what's it called? The orienteering. They make these kind of sports in the Western countries. They're funny people. They make these hurdles. That's a simple one where you have to run, but in the way there's a hurdle. You have to jump over it. But there are things like this orienteering where you get a map and you have to go from here to here, and then you have to find the way around the hills and how to cross over the river and all this and that. There are so many hurdles, physical hurdles. If you want to go from here to Bharuch, previously, or let's say Surat, I'm not sure about Burat, then you have to, to Ankleshwar, then you have to cross, the river is an obstacle. However fast you want to go, you have to find a boatman, and you can only go as fast as the boatman can cross the river. So there's so many obstacles, the land and various objects. But Krishna, there's no obstacle for him. That's the point. Nothing can stop. If Krishna wants to help us, that's it. If Krishna wants to destroy us, also. There's nothing we can do to stop it. Rakhe Krishna Mareke, Mare Krishna Rakeke. Simple Bengali saying. If Krishna wants to protect us, no one can kill us. Nothing can kill us. If Krishna wants to destroy us, nothing can save us. So either way. Shvetasvarata Upanishad. Famous verse. Aparnipado javano grihita pashatya chakshu sasranotya karna saveti vedyam nachatasya asti vetatam ahu agryam purusham mahantam. So it literally says here he has no hands. And he has no legs. But he accepts. And he moves very quickly. He has no eyes, but he sees everything. He has no ears, but he hears everything. So what is the meaning? He doesn't have ears like our ears. He has transcendental ears. He has transcendental eyes. He doesn't need, just like we need hands and feet to go here and there. He doesn't need. He moves at the speed of the mind. He knows whatever is to be known. He knows everything. There is nothing there's nothing which he doesn't know. He is spoken of as the first person, the first, the primeval person and the greatest. Baladev Vidyabhushan gives the meaning here. Lord Krishna quickly rescues his surrendered devotees from the distresses of repeated birth and death. So he gives us similar meaning. None of the commentators said this, but from the Sanskrit dictionary I found, or from a Sanskrit dictionary, I found another meaning of Manojava, which is a completely different meaning, and I don't know the etymology of it, is that he is fatherly. So in the Christian religion especially, they have this concept of God the Father. But they take it mostly in a rather mundane way, that he gives us our bread and he forgives our sins. We'll sin and he'll forgive because he's like a father, like that. But certainly Krishna is the Supreme Father. Pitaham asya jagataha, Krishna says. I'm the father of the whole world. In the sense that he's the maintainer and he's the original progenitor. He loves his children. He wishes the best for them. He may be a little strict with them also for their own good. So that's another meaning. Hare Krishna. That's all for Manojava from me for now. Hare Krishna. Any question about this, please? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jai. So, we'll finish now. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada.